cool. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Guardian.
Yep.
I think you're muted.
Yeah, the chat's saying you're muted. Yep. Good, because I can't figure out where the note thing is.
God darn it.
So.
There we go. Now people can hear me. Sorry about that, stream. Thank you for telling me. Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks, Straight Takes.
The red tab that says notes underneath the one that says characters on the far right side of your screen.
I do not have a right tab that says notes. That's why I was confused.
Got it. So open, if you click on your gear icon at the top right for your where it says options, and then if you click on sidebar, it should be underneath the options. It should be a little red.
I see it.
Okay, and then click on notes. So this is where you can toggle on or off whatever you want to see on the right-hand rail.
Nice.
So, yep. So once you open notes, and you will see the PF2 info and skill actions. And what I was describing is there's a Pathfinder 2E easy site. And it's great. I mean, it gives you a lot of information on what you can do, trained and untrained. And if you click on anything, like when I open it up, you can see acrobatics, proficiency, untrained. So if you click on balance, for example, it'll pull up exactly what it means, what you can do. So just a way for you guys, whether it's now or later, to find out what you can do with your skills. Same thing for the basic and specialty actions and exploration activities. So if you're ever wondering kind of what else can I do other than just swing a sword, just take a look at those and pull it up later. So just FYI. I also created on your actions tab a consumables section. There's probably nothing there yet, but if you do get a potion or something, that's where we'll end up putting the potion. So just FYI. Also, one of the things I like to remind everybody is you can hotkey virtually anything. So if you want to go to, like, say, your actions tab, and if you want to hotkey your first, second, and third dagger attack or mace attack, just left click and hold on it and drop it on one of the slots at the bottom of your screen. And so you might want to do that on things like initiative, skill checks that you think you're going to do a lot. So it's just something, if you want to do that, it's helpful. Let's see. Also, I tried to make notes where I could, but don't forget to look at your abilities tab. And there could be some things there that are features that may not necessarily be automated, but if there are things that you want to kind of take advantage of during the game, just kind of take a look at that so you know what other abilities you might have. So just something to keep in mind. Not everything can be automated. All right, let's see. Also, the top right Fantasy Grounds, where you'll see the party sheet, the little eye with the 3 little people on it. If you click on that, it'll pull up the party sheet. So if you ever want to know a little bit about who the party members are, again, if you forget, this tells you a little bit about who they are, what level, what their armor class is. So, and it also will be a section. There's several tabs on the party sheet. So if we get something like treasure or what have you, I'll drop it here, and then you can kind of see what's in the party inventory. So again, just a resource as we get to playing. And finally, I think you guys saw some of my notes after this session. I'm going to update Legend Keeper, and it's kind of like World Anvil, and there's a whole host of sites like this. But because you'll end up meeting kind of a number of NPCs, I'm going to try to use that if you guys ever do want to go back and right before the session next week or sometime during the week, if you want to kind of see what's there, I'm going to populate it after our session based on what you guys do, who you guys meet. So you'll be able to kind of go back and orient yourself on the various characters and NPCs that you meet. Okay. Let's see. Jor asked one other thing. I think you know the combat tracker. I know that you're relatively new to Unity, but do you know where the combat tracker is and how to pull some of those things up?
Yeah, I think so. I know where it is.
Okay. Because most people use that and keep that up just so you kind of have that in front of you at all times, but totally up to you. All right. Any questions before we start getting into the adventure?
I think I'm good.
All right. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot. Dinosaur Bob, one of the things if you think about it, I would try to use push to talk because I do have, like, you guys will light up when you push. So it's something, I don't know, it's not the end of the world, but for the stream, it'll help orient them when you guys use push to talk because your character card will light up and your name will show up. So anyway, just something to do if you think about it.
No, I'm playing with it now, so I'm not used to it. So there might be a time or two during the session where I'm talking into the void, but we'll figure it out.
Just like I was to begin with, no problem at all. All right. So again, for this, right. Again, for the stream, this is Fall of Plaguestone. So this will be probably a 6 to 8 session, depending. So I appreciate you guys joining us, and we are going to jump into the adventure. I'm excited because this is one adventure that Syrinscape has the entire sound package for. So that's awesome.
Can I interrupt briefly?
No, absolutely
I'd just
not.
like anybody watching to know that this will most likely be a 1 to 2 session storyline because our DM is evil and TPK is more close to us at least once a session. So
To admit, that's fair. That's a fair comment.
it is fair. It is. I know.
My characters tend to run if you guys all die, so one of us will live.
All right, so I'm going to set up a little bit. I'm going to share a map with you all. So as we begin, you are in a caravan that's traveling south by southeast from Eladir, which is the capital of Isgur, to Almas, which is the capital of Andoran. And you're on a road between the Absidel Mountains and the Five Kings Range. So it's a route that's used by a number of traders, and the trader you were with is a dwarf by the name of Bort Bargith, and he's from the Five Kings Mountains, and you are traveling in a caravan of 6 covered wagons. There's a bunch of supplies and trade goods, trinkets, and Bort is really in the lead wagon, kind of leading the charge here, and you're in the last wagon, which is typically for the passengers and the cook who kind of makes the meals for the caravan. So as we begin, it's been 3 days since you left Eladir, climbing into the back of one of Bort Bargith's wagons bound for the faraway Andoran capital of Almas. The smiling caravan master cut your travel cost to only a handful of coppers, so long as you promised to protect the wagons should any trouble arise. Fortunately, your journey through the hinterlands of Isgur has been quiet, even if the ride itself has been far from comfortable. As you broke camp this morning, Bort announced you should arrive at the town of Etran's Folly by nightfall, and he promised a comfortable bed for the night as a reward for a long day's travel. The caravan's teamsters shared a chuckle between them, trading knowing glances and subtle nods. But soon enough, you were on the road again, the wagon bouncing and creaking along the uneven trail. So as we pause for a moment, and I'll introduce you a bit to some of your traveling companions, but let's take this time to announce the party and anything you want to say about your character and also about yourself and in real life and where we can find you. So I'm going to start left to right as I see you. So Trixie, you are up first.
Oh, well, geez, gosh darn, I just wasn't ready for that. Well, hi, I'm Trixie, and I'm a halfling, and, the trip's been kind of difficult. It's been bumpy, it's been shitty, yeah, this is just really, really sucked, guys. But anyways, I've always got a song in my heart and coming out my voice, and, it's just what I do. I love my little hat that I wear, and I've got some bright blue hair, and, well, damn it all, this trip sucks, but we're gonna make the best of it, guys.
Awesome. And anywhere we can find you, or you'd like to give a shout out to a stream or anything that
sure,
you do?
Absolutely. So I'm Acer Sid. I'm playing Trixie. And you can find me online on my Twitch channel. I run a game on Sunday evenings, except this Sunday we're doing in the morning because everybody's got fireworks. But anyways, just a D&D game is pretty much all I do. I've been running it for about 2 years now. It's very, very player focused, very personal plotline focused, and I torment the crap out of my people and they love it. So yeah, I will throw my link up in chat and we should be good to go.
Awesome. Appreciate it. And Rorschach, we'll go after you next.
Good morning, Urash54, playing Rorschach, and he is a rogue and orc rogue of the ruffian variety. He's only happy about one thing, that Bort put us in the wagon with the food, because there's no better way to an orc's heart than lots of food. And these few shekels we gave him, the food will make up for the cheap fare.
Very nice. And any streaming or anything you're doing right now? Or just playing?
I haven't been doing much of late yet, just playing lately. But looking forward to this. Thanks, Gwydion.
Awesome. Absolutely. And Jorest? Don't forget push to talk. Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Yep.
I am Jorest. I am a member of the Yasaki people, who the rest of you might refer to as rat folk. I spent the early part of my life as a bounty hunter. Lately, though, I've had reason to not necessarily question my earlier choices, but I'm trying to find myself, and in so doing, I'm embarked on a road of contemplation and self-study. I'm stepping out of character now. I am playing a ratfolk monk for this session, and we'll see how that works. You can call me RPG Dinosaur Bob, semi-professionally, I guess. You will find me on Twitch as RPG Dinosaur Bob, and I'll put a link up shortly as soon as I stop talking. Most of the time, what I'm streaming is actually the building of an alternative campaign environment, initially for Pathfinder 2. So I'm building my own world, building out my own world and adventures in it and everything else. I will occasionally run one-shots on screen, and I'm trying to talk one of my playtest groups into being willing to go live for their sessions. I have one very good one of my 3 groups is perfect for streaming, so we'll see what we can do with that. So I'm going to put up my link for Twitch, and I'm also going to put up the link to the world I'm building so that anybody interested can go and see what I'm doing, and if you're really interested, follow along and maybe even help me make some decisions on it.
That's awesome. Yeah, feel free to post away. Thanks. And Aradel, we'll finish with you. Save the best for last.
Thank you. I am DM Stretch. I'm a world builder and TTRPG streamer. I often stream TTRPG writing and homebrewing, things like that, as well as the occasional game, and like this, feature on other people's channels. You find me at all the places under the same name, DM Stretch. I'll put my link tree in a sec. But today I am playing Aradel, an elf war priest cleric. He's been around the battle a bit, but he's never really got thick of the action. He's just generally spends the time patching people up and get them back in the fight. He's direct, doesn't mess around, but he's reliable and there when you need him. And I'll just put my Linktree link in now.
Awesome. Sounds good. So as you guys are traveling in this caravan, this part of Isger, it's not very populated. You see on occasion some small rural farms, isolated communities, you notice it's kind of a temperate land. It's pretty rich as you're, kind of looking around at your surroundings. There's a smell of damp earth that you kind of constantly wafts up towards you. Pleasant breeze as you're heading through the lowlands, and you see game on occasion that is kind of running in and out. Some rabbits, and see some pheasants flying around on occasion. And at the front of the caravan, you constantly you catch glimpses of this gregarious dwarf who is the leader. And you can kind of overhear him on occasion. Seems like he's telling stories, and he actually even has a mug of ale in his hand that's kind of sloshing as he's as the caravan is making its way down the path. And as he's talking, you're in the back of the caravan in the last wagon, and the individual that's really responsible for this wagon is the cook. And this guy is an old elf. You hear people call him Cookie, and on occasion you think they're calling him Cocky, but you're not sure why. He's very old. Even for an elf, he looks extremely old. His face, you've got the prototypical lines on his face. He actually has only one ear. So you notice that kind of his left ear is where it should be an ear. There's really nothing there. And he's constantly kind of cocking his head to one side, almost as if he's compensating. And he's kind of looking around the wagon, seems to be constantly looking for herbs and spices and things for the next meal. And you also see kind of they seem to be kind of running around the wagons back and forth. But you see these two humans that appear, from the best that you can tell, they appear to be twins. And they're kind of running up to each wagon, and they seem to be playing kind of the same game all the time. And it's, one of them says, no, that's Ulf. No, he's Ulf. No, that's Ulf. So they seem to like to tease people, but they're very identical, probably about 6 feet tall, pretty handsome, and just kind of making their way between the two wagons, and finally, or the several wagons. And finally, you see kind of a taskmaster who is she's not very outgoing or smiling, but she's in like the third wagon, and she seems to be kind of ordering everyone around. Kind of certainly, everyone seems deferential to her, and she seems to be absent Bort. He seems to be kind of the taskmaster that's commanding and making sure that everyone stays in line and is doing what they should be, and that nobody's straying too far from the wagons. So as you all are kind of taking in the sights and sounds, you kind of round a bend in the road. And as you do so, you hear this enormous howl and this growling. And as you do that, you all can go ahead and tell me, as you're starting to hear that growling and it's just coming into the forest, what are all of you doing? You know, you're starting to hear this a little bit howling in the woods, but what would you all be doing as you're heading into this caravan and towards the town?
I will be sitting quietly and cross-legged with my head down, just contemplating. And although I might have my eyes twitch a little bit at the sound, the hood over my head will probably keep anybody from seeing that.
Gotcha. What about you, Rorschach? What would you be doing?
Rorschach's gonna hop off the wagon, head over to Molly, the orcish woman, and speak to her in orc, and say, "I think I'll head up to the front to keep an eye out for anything on the trail. Is that good with you?"
She just kind of gruffly says, yeah, whatever you'd like to do.
Excellent. Let me know if you need anything. And I walk towards the front and see Bort there sipping on some ale, and say, "You got any extra of that? It heightens my my senses."
And he says, sure. Although he's kind of starting to twitch around a little bit, and he starts pouring you some a bit of an ale. He finds a little cup and starts pouring it for you. So, Aradel, what would you be doing?
I'm fairly casual, but at that sound, I kind of check the caravan around, loosen up my mace a bit. I don't do anything too obvious, but if the howling gets a bit too close, then I try and make sure that there's no stragglers that are going to get caught.
Sounds good. And how about you, Trixie?
So Trixie is she's kind of sitting in the back. She's got her instrument pulled out and she's making up this kind of crappy song about the travel that they're going through, and it's something along the lines of, "This trip's no fun, it hurts my bum. Tarragon, where's the Tarragon?" And then she kind of like stomps her foot on the back of the cart and Cookie, Cookie. And once the elf, the really old, almost death elf, kind of looks at her, she's like, "You Tarragon, it's over. You put it over there." And she kind of points to him. And he like grabs it all, and she just kind of watches everybody start moving around and shrugs her shoulder and just keeps strumming along on her song. And she's paying attention to what's going on. She's just doing her thing.
Awesome. So Cookie kind of looks at you and tilts his head, kind of like a dog might to the right, like, and he shakes his head and just keeps going back to what he's doing, rummaging around for his spices. And as that happens, the howls get very, very loud, and you can all roll initiative as you see coming out of the woods these wolves that are right now outside of the wagon as people begin to scream as they see these wolves come towards you.
Hey Gideon, how do I change my dice color again? I can't.
So on the top right, underneath the combat tracker cross swords, you'll see the colors, and then you can change that to whatever you want.
Got it.
All right, so do we have everyone's initiative? It looks like we do. Awesome. Okay. So the wolves kind of got a little bit of a jump on you. So this first one, Joras, comes your way. I'm going to put you in an actual square. Comes your way, and actually, is that the right one? Oh, you're right. Sorry, guys. Let me, give me 1 second. I got excited and I did not share the map with you, so stand by. All right, there we go. So, Arash, I kind of put you a little bit towards the front as you were walking up in the front, and the others I kind of put outside the back wagon.
Sounds good.
Ah, shit. And of course, that's all right. I should not have done that one, but it's okay. First battle, we're all good. Let me put this. So we have wolf number 1 at the front. He kind of pops out towards you, Urash. And he tries to come up, and you see what looks like these, like it almost looks like he's, in addition to his movement, I mean, his entire fur looks like it's moving, and you realize as he's coming to bite you, he's just infested with what look like hundreds of fleas. As his jaws come down to try to bite you, and he hits. And as you do that, stand by 1 second, see if this works. All right, so Urash, you should see something that says kind of PC roll. Give me a fortitude save. I've tried to set it up to where you guys do all the rolls yourself.
All right, fortitude going in the tower.
Okay. So you save, so you are fine. This thing, these fleas are trying to jump on you, and you're able to kind of brush them off, but you do take the damage from it. So give me 1 second. All right. So that thing, it took an action to run out. It took an action to do its first bite, and it's going to try to do one more bite at you. And the second bite, it's kind of stumbling and off balance, and the second bite misses wildly as it tries to bite you one more time. And Rorschach, you are now up. You're ready, and this thing is right in your face.
All right, I'm going to take this opportunity to use one of my famous ruffian moves and tumble as part of my movement to the other side of him, so I can stab him in the back with my longsword.
Awesome.
And that will put him in the flat-footed condition based on the tumble.
So do you need to roll anything for that?
I don't believe there's any roll associated. I think it's just one of the things I can do. I can move through enemies. If they're bunched up in front of me, I can get through them.
But
I don't believe there's a roll or a save.
is the action a tumble through?
It is.
All right, let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, this will be the first time I'm using it, so if I need to be corrected, I'm happy to be corrected.
I'm just opening the skill actions because, okay, so it's untrade. I'm pulling up the, so let's see. So you do need to attempt an acrobatics check, and it's going to be against their reflex DC. And if you succeed, then, we can just kind of go through that. So go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
You got it.
All right, and you do not succeed. It's not a critical failure, but you fail. And so what happens is you're basically making this check as you're moving into the space. So what happens is your movement ends right before. It's as if you kind of didn't make the movement. So it took an action. And if he had a reaction, which he doesn't, but he could have used it. So that only took one action. So you can either try that again, or you can choose to attack or do whatever else you want.
I will go ahead and just use my 2 attacks with my long spear without any sneak.
Got it.
Oh, I didn't target it. I'm sorry. I'll drop that.
And Urash, I tried to turn you all up in Discord a little bit, but the stream's saying you're pretty soft. So give me a minute, and if they still say that, I might have you crank up your mic, but I turned up all of you for now.
Yeah, I'll plug it in and unplug it too.
Okay. All right, so that attack, so you're swinging wildly, and you're still kind of, I think you might be trying to brush off those fleas because you miss with that first attack, but you still have one more action. Yeah, so when you get a chance after this, go ahead and crank yourself up a bit. They're saying you're still pretty low.
Yep, will do.
All right, and so you swing again, and this thing is just nimble. It's jumping out of the way. So it misses. So that's all of your actions. So in this wolf,
That second attack you did with your crossbow, is that what you intended?
oh yeah, you're right. He
Sorry,
probably.
I clicked on the wrong one. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
It should have been 5 higher, so would a 14 hit?
14. Stand by. It would not.
No harm done.
So this wolf comes right up to you, Jorast, and it tries to again bite you. And you notice the same thing. You notice these fleas just everywhere on this thing. So its jaws come out and it misses. And it's going to try one more bite at you. As these jaws are just snarling, it's dripping, and it's wildly misses as it's trying to sink its teeth into your flesh. Trixie, you are now up.
Oh, me, oh my. Okay. New character. So, okay. Trixie sees all like the wolves coming up and everything's happening, and so I think the first thing Trixie will make an attempt to do is, can I see the wolf that's up by Rorschach from where I'm at? Because I'm kind of technically in the back of the wagon. I don't know if the wagons have covers, if they don't.
Yeah, I would say you can't see the wolf where Rorschach is. He's kind of moved up towards the front, so you can't see that one.
Okay. So she's going to, and there's one right by the bottom of the cart then, correct? Like kind of beneath me, running up to the back.
Yeah, do you see them or do you?
I do, but I'm
okay.
trying to, because I'm technically like in the wagon, because I said I didn't get out, so I'm trying to. Here,
yeah, you can. Yeah, I would say you can, definitely.
Yeah, can you put me in the cart? Can you improve that? And then that way it'll be like...
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So she's going to kind of grab onto the cart, and I'm going to lean out and real quick, and I'm going to use Chill Touch on that and try to do some damage to this wolfy guy running up.
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, it takes me a hot minute. Which wolf number is that? Wolf 6.
There's wolf numbers. So you can either control left click on it on the token on the map, or you can, there's other ways to do it, but that's usually how I do it.
Yep, I got it. Thank you. Okay, so I got him targeted, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cast the spell. Crap, how do I cast? Oh my gosh, the system. I just feel so like ridiculous. I don't know how.
Okay. So no problem. So if you go to your actions tab, I would change the mode at the bottom from standard to combat. And then the summary display, I would change to actions. And then under Chill Touch, the first button will force a save as long as you have them targeted. So not the one that looks like a little voodoo doll, but the one next to it. So right to the left of the little red damage, that'll cast. And then if you, yeah. Okay, so it failed. So go ahead and click the little red damage icon and it'll damage it. Okay, so this wave of like ice just slams into it, and this thing is pretty heavily damaged from that attack.
Yes, but he also, because he failed, target attempts a basic fortitude save, but is also enfeebled 1 for 1 round on a critical failure. Did he critical fail or just regular fail?
So there's a cool new feature now that if you just click that like little voodoo icon doll, like to the, I don't know how else to describe it, the black little person to the left, it'll apply all effects based on whether or not they've saved, critically saved, or whatever. So just click that button and it'll apply it, whatever it should, on the wolf.
Okay. So it didn't apply, oops, I don't know. It didn't apply anything, so I'm assuming nothing happened then. Okay.
So let's check though. You said that it should have. Let me see.
Well, if it says the spell deals negative damage equal to 1d4 plus spell casting. The target attempts a basic fortitude save.
Right.
But is also enfeebled 1 for 1 round on a critical failure.
Nope,
But
it did
I
not
can't
critically
see if he
fail.
critical failed or not. Okay.
Right. So actually, that's awesome. I love it. It would have done it if it, but it did not critically fail. So
Awesome. So that's just what I'm going to do for that one, and then I'm going to look over at Joras, and I'm going to be like, well, here you go, and kind of just wave, and these little like bright bluish green kind of like sparkly things like come out from her fingers, and I'm going to cast the cantrip Inspire. I think it is Inspire.
Okay.
I don't know what they call it in here, but and now my spells are all messed up, and oh wait, cantrip. Inspire Courage. So I'm gonna target him and cast that on him.
awesome. Now wait, does the Inspire Courage? Oh, on Rorschach. Got it.
On Jorest.
Oh, Joras. Sorry, got it.
Yeah, right in front of me. She's gonna just kind of reach out and like maybe give him a little pat on the shoulder.
Awesome.
Aha! I got it.
You got it.
Sweet. That's it. That's Trixie's turn. That was 3 actions.
Okay.
How's my
Cool.
mic sound now? A little better?
It still sounds pretty distant to me. I'll let the stream chime in on how loud you are, but
To me, he sounds louder, but there's a little bit of a, like, it might be just a room echo.
got it. All right, so Trixie, if that, yep, you're good. So Joras, you are up.
Okay, I will. Movement should be pretty straightforward, right? Do I have to?
So yeah, you can move, or you there's the wolf right next to you. But yeah, movement, you can draw your movement like to where you want to go, like left click and hold, and draw wherever you want to go. Yep.
Okay, so basically, I'm just going to kind of swing around him.
Okay.
Puts me in flanking position with him, so he is now flanked. Do I have to do anything to make that happen when I target him?
You do. So if you open, right above the the rectangle that says characters at the top right of Fantasy Grounds, you'll see a little like zombie guy. If you hover over it, it'll say effects. If you click on that, you should be able to see the effects. And one of them is flat-footed. So I think you should be able to, if you have him targeted, click on flat-footed, and let's see if that applies it to him. It should. Now that applied it to you, so 1 second. So let's do this. Can you drag and drop that flat-footed on the wolf number 6 in the combat tracker? So like left-click, hold, and drop it on wolf 6. Yep, there you go.
That looks like it worked, but you want to take it off? Or
No,
it is off to be okay. The Inspire is on me. Okay.
Wait, say again?
Okay, the Inspire Courage is on me. I see. No.
Yeah, and the flat-footed is now on the wolf, so you should be good.
Okay, so that was my first move. For my second move, we will Flurry of Blows.
Awesome.
Now, I'd be curious to see, is this going to do the two attack rolls for me? Let's find out.
Oh, so wait, let's see. So I think you have to do them twice. But let's see, because you have to just use your strike, right? I mean, because the effects, yeah, I think you're going to
do two strikes. It only counts as one action, but I get 2 strikes. Yeah.
So do the 1 strike, and then I think you still have to take your second attack penalty.
Yes,
So go ahead and do the strikes first. Yep, go for it. So the first one hits.
And I should roll the second one right away because the damage
Yes.
gets combined.
That's right. Awesome. So you hit with both. And the way I set this up, I don't know how else to do it. If you look at your Flurry of Blows under your Actions tab, under Monk Abilities and Feats, what I did is I set up like 3 different damages. So if you hit the little magnifying glass, you'll see them all. And I think the first one, since you didn't critically hit, I think you'll do 2d6 plus 4. So that's
that is correct, and that will be the right damage for the player.
Perfect. So just hit that little. Yep, you're good. So tell us what happens is this: you hit a killing blow with your Flurry of Blows here on this wolf. Oh, push to talk.
Oh, well, after swinging around him very, very nimbly, everybody else that's watching basically just sees my nasty clawed hands reach out and smack at the back of this thing 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows how many times. It's just a blur of movement. And when I'm done, there's a fair amount of blood and a unmoving carcass.
Awesome. Love it. So that is, I think, is that 2 total actions? You moved and then Flurry. Oh, Flurry of Blows is 1 or 2 actions. I forget.
That was just 1 action, so I still have 1 more.
Yep.
Which way do I want to move? Let's see. Well, I'm going to probably run toward the front because I heard the sounds of Rorschach in trouble. So.
Okay. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. Fall of Plaguestone. They're traveling in a caravan here, and of course, the caravan gets attacked. Of course, it does. But they're doing pretty well against it. So you're going to move. Yeah, just draw wherever you want to move, and you're good. And then when you're finished, if you look in the combat tracker at the very bottom left, there should be a little gold arrow down. You click that, and that passes your turn. Perfect. Aradel.
There we go.
And I can put you in the wagon if you think you would have been in the wagon either way. I'd kind of put you guys right outside the wagon, but it's totally up to you.
That's fine by me. Aradel has his mace held in the air, ready to swing. The wolf goes down. So, right. Looks behind him and sees another wolf. And does Pathfinder 2 have charge?
It does not have charge as a normal action, but I think some fighters and some classes can get something like charge. So no, not in general.
So whatever then. I'm going to look around. So, no, that one's still a threat. So I move to there.
Okay.
And I go in with my mace.
Awesome. So this thing comes crashing down and hits the wolf right in the back as you see all these fleas like scatter in different directions.
Nice.
And this thing buries in its back. It's so deep it almost gets stuck in its back. So you have one more action.
I want to. Basically, I had my shield on me, so I just want to impose it between its face, and I want to smack its legs. So basically, another mace strike. But,
okay, cool.
A bit wrong.
Like it.
Oh, hello.
Wow. Yes, that does hit. Critical hit. So do your damage.
No.
Well, you rolled minimum damage, but you still took it down. So tell me what happens with this critical hit as your mace crashes into this thing.
I split its back with the first hit, and as I go for its hind leg, the mace gets caught and rips the leg with it as the wolf keels over sort of mid-jump and just smacks his head on the rock, cracks its skull open, kills it.
I like that. Give yourself a hero point for that role play. And everyone, if you haven't already, make sure you all open your character sheets, and on the first main tab at the top, go ahead and make sure you have 1 hero point. So Aradel, you'll now have 2 hero points. And then if you are finished, you can pass your turn. All right. Say again.
That's it, Aradel.
Nice. So you guys hear another howl from the woods as this enormous wolf comes out of the woods, and as he gets close, he emits this, just his jaws open, and this enormous howl comes out of him. And I'm going to need some saves. 1 second. And as all of you hear this horrible howl, and well, actually, 1 second. I'll have to do this to the party. I'm going to do it a different way. All right, and that is a will DC save. So, Rorschach, you...
Wait, can I interrupt real quick?
No, absolutely, of course.
Okay, well, I have counter performance. I don't know if that works, but it says your performance protects you and your allies. Roll a performance check for a type you know. An auditory performance, if the trigger was auditory or visual, and if visual, you and your allies in the area can use the better result between your performance check and the saving throw.
Sounds good. So yes, that's a reaction. So
Yes.
before that occurs, yes, you can. So go ahead and do it sounds like that's you said that's a performance check?
Correct.
So go into you probably know this, but go in your skills tab, and then you should see that +7. So either double click it or drag and drop it in chat.
There we go.
So what happens as you do this? Because it looked like some of your party members looked like they were going to be extremely frightened by this howl. So what happens as you do this?
I think as she sees this massive wolf coming off, which probably is so big that it actually has extra large fleas too. The fleas are probably bigger than the other fleas on the other wolves, and she kind of grabs her instrument and whips it out and stands up and says, "The wolfie comes out of the woods, but don't worry, it's gonna be good. I'm here for you, and we will say poo, because he's just a puppy, it's true." And that's her performance.
Nice, I like it. All right, so this thing, as it finishes its howl, it's looking around. Its jaws are just dripping. What looks like this bile. It's almost greenish that's coming from its mouth, but it has to pass its turn as the wolf next to you, Rorschach, almost seems a little bit more re-energized, and he is going to try to bite you. And as its teeth try to sink into you and miss, he tries one more time. And he misses again, and with his final, I can find this 1 second. Give me 1 second. Well, shoot, I guess he's going to try one more. He's going to just flail away and try to bite you one more time. Oh, man. Rolled an 18, but he had a pretty big minus, so he's chomping, trying to get you, but he just can't do it. Rorschach, you are now up.
That's right.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
All right. He is going to do his tumble behind maneuver because he likes to stab things in the back. That's his MO. So I will do an athletics check, or excuse me, acrobatics check in the tower to see if I succeed.
You got it. And you don't, man. You're just, I don't know, maybe it's because the earth is a little bit soft and damp, but you're just not getting your footing, and you slip, and you're not able to tumble through them.
That's all right. I'll just straightforward attack him with my long spear.
You got it.
Him up. Airedale's got me pumped up with his little maneuver he did with that mace. I like it. I'll show you what a spear can do.
Dang, and it's slams into it and hits.
All right.
Oh man, as your spear just impales this thing, and this poor thing is dead in front of you. All it wanted to do was just say hi.
Yeah, he's just a puppy.
Right.
So with my final action, I'm going to run at the big guy up there because I don't want him getting after my little Trixie who's been giving me my willpower.
You got it.
Just get up in his face, spinning my spear as I run, and that will be my turn.
Okay.
All right. And the reason for that sound, Rorschach, is the Inspire Courage just dropped off you.
Ah.
I feel a little lesser.
Why did I run in front of this big wolf?
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to. Trixie's gonna kind of stand up and she's gonna strum this like really kind of off-key sounding note, and she's gonna say, "No, bad dog," and I'm gonna cast Daze on it and see if I can stun it.
And unfortunately, this thing kind of shakes it off. Its eyes are staring right at you, and it's almost like it's smiling. But it succeeded in its saving throw.
Okay, so I'm gonna get. She's gonna kind of look at it and.
So you still have one action left, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly I'm gonna do. I guess she's gonna kind of get this frustrated look, and she's gonna grab a dagger off of her belt, and I'm gonna fling a dagger at it.
All right. And I'll say that it was on your belt, so you don't have to. I mean, sometimes you have to take two actions one to grab it and then one to throw. But in this case, I'll say it's kind of right at your ready.
Oh, okay.
So
Now,
you're good.
Do I still get to click the first dagger attack? Or do I have to click the third one that's at the -3? Because
that's a good question. Let me look at Daze.
Because Daze takes two things.
Yeah, but the critical thing is it an attack? And Daze is not. It does not have the attack trait. So no, you're still on your first attack, and you can just attack
awesome.
like normal.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna fling a dagger at it.
Dang, and this thing hits it right in the top of the head.
And I'm going to, let's see, so I click. And she just gets this frustrated look, and she grabs her dagger and she flings it out, and she's like, "Bad dog!"
And it looks like it kind of like cuts it a little bit, and maybe there's then rattles into the brush. I mean, it looks like it did a little bit of damage, but not too much.
And that's
All right.
turn.
Yep. Thorast, you are up. Thanks again, everybody, for joining.
Okay,
Excited to be
I'm
going through
going
this over the
to-
next few weeks or several weeks.
First of all, on my first action, I'm going to invoke my Key Rush, which lets me move twice. I don't need to move twice. I'm going to basically, though, in a blur that nobody can really see. I'm actually going to move. I'm going to move to around behind. Ultimately, I'm going to end up here. But I'm going to take the long way around to get there.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, now the result of that, I am concealed to the wolf.
So if you open your Key Rush, you will see the little effect. So you can click on that, and it's already set to self, so it'll target you. So just click on that little effect icon, and it'll apply concealed to you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I can walk you through it. Beautiful. Nicely done.
Okay, so that's done. And now, being in this position, I get to put the flat-footed back on the wolf again.
Okay. Yep. So you can drag and drop it on him if you want. There are other ways to do that, so he's only flat-footed to you, but for now, I'm just going to do it this way, so you're good.
Well, no, actually, he's flat-footed to Rorschach.
To you and Rorschach, yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay, so those two things are done, and now we will invoke our Flurry of Blows again. So here come the 2 attacks.
Nice. First one hits, not a crit, but it does hit. The second one does not. So you can probably, I think you just do your normal attack for whatever that, yeah. All right. You punch it, and you do some damage to it. It looks like it's definitely getting injured, but it still looks pretty strong.
Okay. And I get one more attack, so I might as well take my next attack.
Ah, and it misses.
It almost looked like it was going to be a 20.
I know, I saw that. But I have my DM dice mod on, so I just kind of nudged it. Just kidding. All right.
And I guess that will do it. So, move on.
Okay, this wagon, how much ground clearance does it have, and how tall is it? Or how high is it?
So, I mean, it's kind of probably, I don't know, maybe 20 inches off the ground or something. I mean, it's a little bit elevated. And it's probably totals, it's about, call it 5.5 feet tall, if you look at kind of the entire wagon itself. I don't know how tall the wagon is.
I kind of look at I know the wolf is the other side, but having trouble seeing it with this wagon in the way. So I look above, and I thought, no, duck down. And, well, actually, I'll move first. There.
Is that where you want to go? I just was waiting until you're done.
Yeah, I messed up the movement of the first one. That's it. I'll move there, then I'll put my shield in front of me, duck down, so the shield's flat on the ground, and I give a whistle, say, "Hey, doggy!" Get his attention. And as I move my mace over to my shield hand, kind of just holding it between my fingers, so I've got my hand free. Hey, doggy! And as my hand glows red, throw it forward, and this ball of flame comes out towards the wolf.
Okay.
As I cast my Elemental Wrath.
Awesome. And it misses the wolf.
Oh, misses. Okay. As long as I don't set the wagon on fire, it's fine.
Yes, you did not.
I'll get up again, and because the reason I've got my shield in front of me is that I can use my other arm to just push off again and spring back up.
Gotcha.
Real quick, does he have no spell attack bonus?
There's a point, actually.
Hold on. What was the spell? It was the Elemental Wrath?
Yeah, Elemental Wrath, it's Acid Splash, but I can change the element to, well, I have to choose an element on selection, which I chose fire.
So for some
Did he
reason...
set himself up trained as trained
Yeah,
in divine
that's
spells?
what I'm doing right now. It looks like when you created Elemental Wrath, since you did it outside of your normal spells, it didn't add the ability, which should be Wisdom, I believe.
Ah, right.
And then trained. So what would that give you? That would give you a +6. So that would be yes, so that would hit. Not a critical hit, but that would hit. And he's not flanking to you, so I took that off, but even with that, it would hit.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Jorast. Did not see it. Make sure you target him again before you roll the damage. All right. So it definitely, you see kind of part of its chest as it's kind of, puffing out its chest. You see the is it fire or is it acid? It's fire?
It's fire.
Okay. You see his chest getting singed as it just turns black as this fire ray slams into it. All right. Anything else you can do?
Can I get up on the wagon? Do I have any movement left after that?
If you've only done 2 actions, you can certainly get up on the wagon.
Oh.
I think you've done one action to move. Well, actually,
he's done all 3.
Yeah, because is the spell? I assume it's a 2-action spell.
Yes, actually, yes, it is.
Okay, so yeah, that's all 3 actions.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, and pass your turn. And so this wolf, as it's looking at you, it opens its mouth, and as you're gaping into this huge maw, as this thing just opens its mouth, you see this green acid like building in the back of its throat as it comes towards you in this huge acid breath. Slams out of its mouth towards you. And if you can give me a reflex save, please.
All right. Reflex, you got it. I'm assuming you're talking Rorschach.
Yeah, sorry, Rorschach. Yep. Oh, crap. And you fail. As
Color
this.
change.
Yeah, right? Here we go. As this acid just starts eating away at your armor, at your clothes, and it's just burning into you. And with its last, it tries to bite you with its second action. Hang on. Or its third action. And it bites. And it critically bites you. Wow.
That could be the end.
And Rorschach, you are down. Give me 1 second.
We can fix you.
And I'm going to put
It'll
you...
take more than that. I got some bad luck going here.
I'm going to put you, Rorschach, right in front of it. So give me 1 second. All right. And that is its turn. Trixie, you're up as you see this wolf just emit this horrible acid and then biting Rorschach, putting him on the ground unconscious.
She
Running away is fine. It's totally acceptable.
No. So she's going to kind of like, I don't know, stand up and face the wolf on the back of the cart. She's standing, but she's gonna face it. And I'm gonna use let's see, I'm trying to just read to make sure it's
Sure.
Okay, so it's a line attack. So I'm gonna kind of do like an angled line attack towards the wolf, skipping my friends that are on either side of it.
Can do that.
And I'm going to cast Grim Tendrils, and Tendrils of Darkness curl out from my fingertips and race through the air. So, but hers aren't like darkness. Trixie's darkness is more of like that same kind of cool, like minty, aqua-y green that her hair is, and then it's just got like sparkles of blackness through it.
Nice. Cool.
She's just a little too happy to be really dark. Let's see. So it has to make a... Okay, so everything I have is fortitude saves. So, yay! Hopefully he failed.
Should go with the My Little Pony purple.
Right. So you can go ahead and click on that again, that little person icon that's in black, and it'll apply. Oh, sorry. First, do the damage. I'm sorry, and then I was thinking about the effect. So do the damage first. And so it looked like it kind of got out of the way a little bit, but it did take some damage, just not as much as typical.
And then I'm going to...
Thanks again, everybody, for stopping by.
Let's see, probably on Jorast, I'm going to inspire some courage. Wait, that just adds to no fears, right?
Wait, say again?
I'm thinking out loud, sorry.
Okay. Oh, good. I thought you were asking me.
That adds to attack and damage.
Oh, it
too,
does.
so,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
thank you.
So it's like an inspiration and...
Yeah, and it gives you 1 attack and, plus 1 attack, plus 1 damage. And Grim Tendrils is 2, so that is only a 1-action spell, so you could do that.
It should be on him now. Yep, there it is. Yep, plus 1 to attack and damage. Yep. So yeah, she's gonna send her sparkles of aqua black darkness out, and the wolf dodges a little bit, but she's like, well. Then she looks over at Jorast and she goes, well, you're up, buddy.
Nice.
You got this.
And Trixie, just real quick before you pass your turn, you probably saw I put some effects on you only to remind you that you have some things that I can't really code, but it's just something to keep in mind that could come up with like perception. So anyway, that's why I put those. They're on your abilities tab.
Yeah.
So anyway. All right, go ahead, and when you pass, Jorast will be up. All right, Mr. Jorast.
Okay, already in position. I really don't have anything else I can do except swing away. So we will begin with the...
And hang on one before you do it. Well, actually, no, he's not flanked. Never mind. I have it right because Rorschach's down.
But correct, he's not flanked, but we will begin with the Too Fast to Follow, Flurry of Blows, the rapidly whipping hands.
I like it. And you can drag and drop it on him. I think that's a hit, but I don't think you had him targeted. You can drag the 18 and drop it on the wolf in his token on the map. And it'll tell you, and yes, that's a hit.
Okay, targeting is control left click, right?
Yeah, and then you'll see it. Now you can see, if you look in the combat tracker, it says targets wolf. So for some reason, it just maybe it didn't take the first time. So now you have him targeted.
Got it, okay. All right, and then second attack in the flurry.
And the second one misses. So you hit him once. All right, so this thing is, you definitely can see that it's bleeding from multiple places. It's hair singed from the fire. It's getting pretty damaged.
And there's not much I can do except attack again, and I will use my second and third actions to attack 2 more times. They will both be with the minus max penalty.
Got it. Yep.
We'll do them one at a time.
First one missed. Yeah, the second one, you're just a little out of breath with all the attacks you're making, and this thing is pretty agile.
Yeah, but we're keeping him busy. That'll have
Yes,
to
you
do.
are. Aradel, your munch. You got a wolf that's pretty badly damaged. You got a companion down. What do you do?
Well, probably take too long to go round. I'm going to take the most direct route. Still with Mace in the other hand. I use my free hand to grab the top of the wagon, and then put my shield arm over the top and as far over as I can. I don't have to be graceful. I just have to get up and over this thing.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the tumbling over the fence kind of thing.
Got it.
Land in the wagon and roll over, get up. I look at Warsack, so I'll deal with him in a minute. Do I need a dex check or anything to get up there, or do I just get up there?
No, you can. I mean, you're not trying to do anything too fancy, so you're good.
And then I'll just hit him with another elemental wrath.
Sounds good.
Hello.
Nice, very good hit. Not a crit, but it's a good hit. Oh, and it just, its whole head just catches on fire for a second. You think it's going to go down, but it's still up. But it definitely is wobbly and does not look strong.
And that's my turn. I've
All right.
moved, and that's a action spell.
So, Mr. Rorschach, you are just going to give me a straight D20 in the wherever you want. You can do it in the open if you want. All right, and that is a success. So, you move from dying 1 to you're still unconscious, but you are no longer dying.
Excellent. Thank you.
Stand by 1 second. Putting some effects on you. All right, so this wolf turns to Rorschach, or to Jorast. And it tries to bite you. And it misses. It's going to try again as its jaws open and it tries to bite you. Tries to sink its teeth in. And it misses. And yeah, it's going to flail away. It's going to try one more time. Oh, and it misses. Thing has definitely seen better days. Trixie, you are up. Oh, Trixie said she had to be AFK. I'm not sure if she's back yet. I tell you what, Jorast, why don't we have you go, and then if Trixie comes back, we can certainly circle back. But we'll just say that she's kind of holding her turn for a second, so you can go.
Works for me. Once more, flurry of blows.
All right. First one misses. Second one misses. Man, this thing is agile.
Well, I'll just have to keep flailing away.
All right.
Probably because there's Rise and Rand on fire now.
Critical miss. Doesn't matter, but yeah, missed. Ah, man. This thing is just dodging out of your way. Nope. Still missed again, so it's going to be Aradel's turn.
I held its attention.
Yes, you did.
Trixie's back.
Okay, Trixie, I'm going to put it back up to your turn. We just had Jorast go, but you are...
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. You are up.
Okay, I'm getting frustrated with this thing that's counteracting all my saves and stuff, so Trixie's gonna kind of get bad dog. Sometimes you just gotta, and she's gonna like kind of set her loot or whatever down in the cart, and then she's gonna jump out of the cart, and I'm gonna run over and slice at it with my rapier. So I know I have to move. I will take my attack.
And that hits it. Yes, you find its flesh. Oh man, and this thing is it's teetering. It almost looks like one leg. It's kind of hobbling on three legs, but it's still up.
Okay, I will attack with my dagger too. The other hand.
Okay.
Womp womp.
Yeah, missed badly.
That's my turn.
All right. Jorast went, so Aradel, you are up.
Okay, Trixie, how tall are you?
I'm a halfling, so I'm like, I don't know. What are they?
Oh,
3
this isn't gonna
feet?
be a problem,
Like super
then.
short.
Yeah.
And he mutters to himself, I think, why do I do this crazy stuff? And he puts one foot on the side of the wagon and jumps. He wants to come slamming down straight on top of that wolf. As he does that, as he lands, he wants to put one hand out and touch Rolth to hopefully cast heal with the last action. So how do we go about this?
Yeah, so think about this. Are you trying to land on the wolf? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be graceful. It's going to be rather unceremonious, but I'm just going to slam down on this wolf, hopefully with the shield in front of me.
So give me how many? So you haven't done any actions. That's your first action. So give me an acrobatics check in the tower.
Better uncover the towel first.
I'm just gonna wing this one. I might not have it quite right, but it'll be fun. All right, so absolutely. So you come and slamming down on this thing, and I mean ultimately you're going to be in a square next to it. But so are you trying to bash it? Are you trying to hit? What are you trying to do to the wolf before you touch?
Just using my
Rorschach?
weight to damage it, so I can also get into range to touch Rorschach to heal.
Okay. Give me, I guess just use your dagger attack for now. So just attack it using your dagger to see kind of what you do as far as hitting it. All right, and
Nice.
you definitely hit. I think give me a D4. I don't remember exactly what the unarmed is, but let's just roll a D4 for me. All right. So this thing, as you crash into it, you like slam on its head and crush its head as this thing falls dead where it was almost falling down. And as you're doing that, you touch Rorschach and go ahead and do your heal. And so that's, I think, going to basically be all of your, well, I guess I would only do a 1 action heal in this case because you've really used your other actions.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
But Rorschach is back. Very nice. And you are conscious. So I am going to give you the wounded 1 condition. 1 second. All right. Very nicely done. Actually, this is a perfect time before we kind of get into the aftermath of this battle. This would be a great time for a break because I'm going to try to keep each session to 3 hours. So we're about an hour and a half in. So if everyone's good for a 10-minute break, we will start a timer and come back in 10 if that works.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Awesome. See you guys shortly. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Having a good time. I do like Pathfinder 2 a lot. And so far this has been fun little quick combat to jump in. So I'm going to take a quick break myself and I will be back shortly. Everyone, we still got a few more minutes, but thanks again for stopping by. I really do like this Pathfinder 2 system, and all the automation that Trenlo's done in Fantasy Grounds is pretty awesome. So glad. Hope you guys are enjoying it, and I'm going to go on mute for another few minutes. But just wanted to thanks again for stopping by. All right, we will be starting in a second and making sure all the players are back. Yeah, Medaxinos. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I agree. Yeah, it takes a bit of a learning curve, but man, once you get it, I think it's awfully powerful, and I love it. I love it, and Trenlo's done such a good job. There's so much complexity in Pathfinder 2, but he's done a great job coding it. All right, we'll go back to the live stream here. And see is. All right, I think I've got 3 players that have checked. So, Jorast, are you back? It doesn't, maybe, can't tell if you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. All right. All right. Trixie, you're here. I think everybody's here. I can't tell. I have 3 of 4 people that have checked that you're back in the chat in Fantasy Grounds. So I'm not sure if we're missing one person or not.
Yep, I'm here. It's so frustrating that it doesn't tell you who actually checked.
I know it's a nice little feature, but I wish it would tell you who did it. So, all right. I think we're all back.
Oh, even noticed the check.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't say anything. So, all right, we're good. Okay, so we have Rorschach that's still unconscious. You've got as you just slay the last wolf, Bort and Tamley are kind of running around checking on everybody up front. It looks like Ulf and Ulf are injured and they seem to be kind of moaning and in a lot of pain. But what do we want to do with Rorschach? For both Rorschach
I just
and
healed him.
oh, you did. That's right. He's up. That's right. He does have a little. I forgot
Yeah, I'll
about
stand
that.
up. And I
Yep.
have the battle medicine feat. I'm not 100% sure how that works. He says you can patch yourself up and an adjacent ally even in combat.
So there's a couple of things. One, and I for both you and for Jorast on the break, I drug on the skill medicine check onto your actions tab because so basically what battle medicine will do is during a fight you can't treat wounds during a fight, but battle medicine will let you for an action treat wounds during a battle. So what you will do if you want to treat wounds on yourself right now, you don't need to use battle medicine, but you can do a medicine check. So you would have to get a 15 or higher and spend basically 10 minutes on yourself. So you
have
can
healer's tools.
I do, yeah. Because I have that feat, I picked up healer's tools.
Okay, because if you don't, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so attempt a medicine check to treat wounds. So I will click on that and see if I succeed.
Actually, that's just the effect. If you go to your skills
okay.
tab and just roll a medicine check from your skills tab.
You got it.
And unfortunately, you're not able to heal yourself. It's just a little bit outside of your skills. And unfortunately, you are now immune for an hour from treating wounds from you, but someone else could try, like Jorast could try to treat wounds on you if they want.
Yeah, well, while I was watching Rorschach attempt to take care of himself, the first thing I did was reach down and pluck the dagger out of the back of the wolf's head and handed it to Trixie.
Okay.
And then after watching for a few minutes and seeing Rorschach struggle a little bit, I just suggest, that he relax and let me see what I can do.
Thank you. And would that be something I could use a hero point for to retry that check, Gwydion, or is that?
You certainly could. Yeah, if you want to use your hero point, you absolutely can use it for that.
Yeah, let's see. I should probably do that before Jorast does it to make it legit. So I will do that.
Okay. And you can just double click the hero point to reduce it by 1. And this time you succeed. So, so if you look at the skill I dropped on your actions tab, the first little red plus sign should be 2d8. So you can heal yourself by 2d8.
I'll drag it out of me to make sure it applies to me. Ooh, yes.
All right. So you heal yourself. And the way that the wounded condition works in Pathfinder 2, if you successfully treat wounds, even if you don't heal yourself completely, then you can end the wounded condition. So I can take that off of you.
Great. Thanks
But
for putting that on my my character.
Yep, and just know that even if you're healed, it doesn't take off the wounded condition unless you are restored to full hit points and rest for 10 minutes. So just in general, you won't lose the wounded condition unless somebody uses treat wounds on you and is successful. It's just kind of a way for you not to be able to just tap someone and get them back up and not have any repercussion. So it's kind of a cool system. All right. So everyone
So now who looks like they're in worse condition? Is it still Rorschach, or what about the twins?
So the twins are holding on to each other and like holding their, themselves. They look like they're pretty banged up, and Bort is walking around. Everyone okay? And he comes up to you all, and he's like, "Wow, you really fought those off well, and that's I can't thank you. I can't thank you enough." And you see Tamley is kind of checking around on everyone and making sure everyone's okay. But yeah, I mean, Ulf and Ulf are kind of kind of sitting off in the brush and look like they're really holding themselves and just moaning, and they look like they might be in bad shape.
I will head over to them and attempt to do some wound treating on those guys.
Okay, give me a perception check in the tower. And as you're doing that, they're just like, wow, we fought those off so well, man. That was tough, but man, were we good. And as you're looking at them and going to treat them, they have nothing but scrapes and maybe little cuts. They look just fine. But they're playing it up as if they've been super injured and they were kind of the heroes of the day. But they're just fine. Minor scrapes and bruises is all.
I will take a minute or two then to, one of the things that I will do is take out one of the little vials of from my healer's tool bandolier. But I'm picking the one that basically is the antiseptic that'll sting the most, and I just splash a little of it onto their wounds to tell them, don't worry, this will take care of you. You fought valiantly and do all that sort of thing, but I want to make sure it stings a bit.
And as you do that, and oh, thank you so much, and as soon as it splashes on them, they're just ow, oh, that burns.
Rorschach just gets an immense toothy grin.
All right, so go ahead.
I'm sorry. Aradel, still on the floor, rolls over and sort of goes in a seat position, and you could just see mud down his face.
Nice. Awesome.
Well, that worked then. Oh, why do I do this stupid thing? And he puts his hand up, so someone give me a hand up.
Rorschach goes, thanks for the heal, and picks him up. I can straighten that back out for you if you want.
You just hear this crack as his arm cracks as he's getting up. I think you just did. Thank you. Oh, how are you? Anyway.
I'm feeling a lot better, thanks.
So as you guys are kind of cleaning off and dusting each other off and checking on Ulf, you see Tamley is actually focused on some of the wagons up front, and she kind of comes back to all of you and looks at Ulf and say, you all look just fine to me. And she's talking to Ulf, and she says, the wagon's been pulled off the trail, and you can kind of see it. It's kind of sitting in the mud and the muck that's just off the trail. It's like, we're going to need some help to get this loose. Can Ulf, you all get over here, and the rest of you all, can you give us a hand and try to get this moving?
Sure, I can help.
All right.
Yeah, Rorschach will help too.
Okay. Anyone that, yeah, go ahead.
We will do what we can.
All right. So anyone that would like to help and pull the wagon back out of the muck, give me a athletics check in the tower.
Trixie is going to sing a jaunty tune about strong helping hands.
Nice.
Also, I'd like to look around for a branch or something. Anything you can put under the wheels to make it easier.
Okay. Awesome. As you do that definitely helps out. It's tough to move, but you all are able to, with all of you pitching in and the twins, who look a little chagrined at being called out a little bit on their injuries. You're all able to get it out of the mud and kind of get it back on the trail. And as Bort's checking on the rest of you, says, thanks again. I couldn't have done this without you. We're very close to Etran's Folly, so we're very close to the town. I'd love to buy you dinner. I mean, this was a obviously a challenging encounter with these mangy wolves, but boy, do I have some stories for you of some real stories and real danger that I can tell you about over dinner in town, and dinner's on me tonight. But let's get get to town and get out of this path before any more wolves come our way.
I forgot to ask back at the site. Would it be possible for us to at least take one of the wolves, if not preferably the big wolf, chuck it on the cart, and so we can butcher it up later?
Sure, you can drag it on, and maybe Cookie can help butcher it and yeah, do something with it later. Absolutely.
Yeah, use the pelt as well.
I'm gonna run back to where my dagger was that I threw. Oh no, wait! It actually got stuck in the wolf because I did hit. Never mind.
Yeah, Zorest, I think, grabbed it out of it.
And,
Yeah.
I was thinking I threw a second one, but I didn't.
Gotcha. All right. So everyone kind of gets back in. Nobody else seems too worse for the wear. Just scared and shaken up. So everyone kind of gets back in their various wagons, and as you get back on track and continue to roll through the road, it takes about an hour or so, and you finally roll into town.
Just real quick during that hour, as soon as I get back in the wagon, I will go back to my cross-legged contemplative position. And while I am very slowly picking over my hands and arms to make sure that there's no fleas left on me from the critters, I will be refocusing to get my key point back.
Awesome. I like it. Anybody else have anything they'd like to be doing during that kind of the journey as you're heading back towards the town?
Yeah, Rorschach will move up front again with Bort and get another tankard of ale.
Nice. Excellent. Anyone else?
Clean himself up, clean the blood off his shield, clean the mud off his face.
Okay. Trixie, were you trying to say something?
Oh no, I just said nope. I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so it uneventful next hour, and you kind of roll into town a couple hours before dusk. So it's late in the afternoon, very early evening, but just kind of probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of the wagons as they roll into town start heading for you kind of hear various people talking that, it's over to the feed mill, and you kind of hear from the various chatter. It's the only inn and tavern in this small community, and as you're kind of rolling through the town, and I'm going to show you an image. There's simple homes, and it looks like a lot of them are very identical in various states of disrepair in general. And as you kind of go through the center of town, you go around an ancient, it looks like it's been there forever, but this big, large, flat, cylindrical rock that's about 2 feet high with a hole in the center. It's kind of got a bowl-shaped depression off to one side. And everyone's kind of like, shortly after you pass this landmark, you get to the feed mill, and as you kind of stop, some of the teamsters, the folks that were helping with the caravan, secure the caravan, and Bort looks at all of you and says, "I'll be back soon. Feel free to go in the feed mill and get a drink, have a little relaxation, and I'll be back at night. I've got a few errands to run." And with that, Bort kind of makes his way off, and you see a stable hand. It's a small halfling woman come up to you, and she introduces herself. And she says, "Oh, the horses, they look like they could use some help. Perhaps I can take them and make sure that they're okay. And my name is Edra Wythe. Nice to meet you."
I give it a little bow and say, "Well met, Edra. Good to see you. Awesome food. We don't run."
Where's the taskmaster?
Say again?
Where is the taskmaster?
Tamley, she's still around. She's kind of just looks like she's checking on everything and unloading the supplies along with some of the other Teamsters, but she's there. She's just kind of helping unload everything, and looks like she's just kind of getting things organized.
All right. Well, with the with what's his name already wandered off, I'm gonna say to Edra, you should probably speak with the woman over there, the scary looking one.
Oh, okay. I will. Thank you. And she goes over to Tamley, and they start talking, and you see Tamley kind of give the reins of the horses to Edra as she starts, she starts pulling them around to some of the hitching posts and starts hosing them down a little bit with just pouring buckets of water on top of them and cleaning them as best she can and giving them a bit of food. She says, you should go into the feed mill. It's quiet now, but you could at least get maybe a little snack before dinner, and certainly a food or drink if you'd like.
Rorschach's gonna walk over close to her and say, "What's the story with the rock with the hole in it over there?"
And who is he talking to?
Edra, the gal that's working on the horses.
Oh, and she says, that's she says she's kind of quiet and lowers her voice a little bit, but she says that's the Plaguestone. She says that's where, years ago when the plague was rampant in town, people would go here. We'd leave a bowl for the sick, and the sick would leave coins in the center of the hole, hopefully to help with getting the contamination in town relieved. It didn't always work, but that's what it was for.
He'll mosey on over and put a penny in, a copper.
Okay, sounds good.
And then he'll head into the feed barn.
Okay, awesome.
Aradel is heading straight towards the food, but he's kind of putting his hand into a fist and putting the fist into his back and stretching and still trying to work out the kinks.
Okay.
So who'd have thought jumping off a wagon? Really dumb idea.
Nice. So as you head into the feed mill, are the rest of you kind of heading in with Aradel, or what?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you head in, you see behind the bar a human woman that introduces herself, and she says, "Welcome, come in. My name is Delma. I'm basically the proprietor here. My father, the mayor, owns it, but I run it as best as I can. And would you like, it's still early, but would you like a bit of a snack, or can I offer you all a drink? What is that can do for you? You look a bit, worse for the wear. Is everyone okay?"
My butt hurts. And she says she hops up on the stool and taps on the counter for a drink.
Yes, I thank you. If you would have just a small plate of cheese and hard bread, that would be sufficient for me. Thank you.
And she says, yes, we have that. How about any drink, anything else that I can get for you? But yes, we can get some cheese.
An ale, absolutely.
We have a wonderful turnip ale that I'll bring out to you. That's excellent. Anyone else? Can I help anyone else? And you see,
make it a pitcher of the turnip ale. That sounds excellent.
Oh, wonderful. And so
but what are the rest of us having?
Yeah.
Aradel smiles at the mention of the pitcher of ale. So it gives the nod. So no, yeah, I'll go down nicely. And I need some meat right now.
Gotcha.
I'm beat up.
All right. So she says, thank you. I'll be right back. And she kind of goes back into the kitchen. You can overhear her talking to someone in the kitchen. And as you do so, you see kind of a goblin that's kind of hunched over and moving very kind of shyly, and over to the only other individual in the whole tavern, which is just this mountain of a man, bald. His just muscles are rippling and bulging as he's kind of looks like he's finishing his snack and a mug of ale, and the goblin's kind of cleaning up a little bit around him as you know, the guy that's sitting down. He looks human, but he's enormous. And he says something to the goblin that seems to scare him a little bit, and the goblin jumps up and kind of goes back into the back, kind of gives you a quick glance, but keeps going into the back as he's clearing tables.
What's he say to the goblin?
Give me a perception check in the tower.
Okay, and I think I have those feats or whatever that I picked that help buff this. Hold on one second. Too many things open on my screen. Notes. Please, okay. Observant halfling. +1 circumstance bonus to your perception DC checks. Does that count for this?
Say again.
Observant halfling +1.
Yeah,
perception
absolutely.
Bonus. Okay.
Yeah. So you can do that. You can either just in the modifier box right below the chat where it says modifier, you can put a 1 in there and then just roll, and it'll add a 1 to it.
Okay. So. Yeah. Okay.
So you kind of over here as this guy's looking at the goblin, and you just hear him say, "Give me another round, you worthless piece of trash." And that's all you hear.
She frowns a little bit and she leans over to whoever's sitting next to her and she's like, "That guy's kind of a dick."
Rorschach kind of looks over at him, goes, "Oh, he's a little bigger than me, but that never stopped me." He'll stroll over and pull up a seat in front of him, say, "What's your story?"
To the big guy that's sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't pay you much attention. He just kind of glances up briefly and says, "What's it to you? Who are you?"
We're here on an adventure, but I'm not sure I like the way you talk to the help around here. Is there an issue?
And he kind of smiles wide, and he does that. You're drawn more to the scars on his face than anything else. And he says, "Do you want some cheese with that wine?"
Rorschach grins and says, "That's a good response."
And he just goes back and kind of turns his body away from you a bit and downs the rest of his ale.
All right, yeah, I'll mosey back over to my friends and just kind of go, "I'll keep an eye on them."
Not a problem.
So as you do that, you see coming out of the back of the kitchen, you see another server that comes out, and she introduces herself, as Trin. She says, and she's human, and she says, "Oh, welcome to the feed mill." And here's the cheese that and a little bit of hard bread that you requested, and she puts it on the table along with a pitcher of this, this ale that smells a little bit nasty, but she says, here's our turnip ale, and she pours a glass for those. Do each of you, is everyone partaking? And she kind of looks at all four of you, and how many glasses shall I pour?
I'll have one, please.
Oh, excellent,
Trixie just
excellent.
kind of nods her head as she's like giving the big guy, the stink guy, across the room.
Okay,
And one for me too, thank you.
excellent. And she does that, and you see another server kind of walking around. Just another human. It just kind of looks like he's tidying up, kind of starting to get ready. It's still early, but kind of starting to get things set up maybe for dinner later. But not quite yet, but he's, it looks like he's getting ready, but she pours the rest. And as she's doing that, even before the goblin starts to come back out, you see the big guy kind of get up and walk out of the room, kind of doesn't really glance at anyone as he leaves. He just leaves and just walks out the front of the inn.
In Goblin, I'll ask the Goblin what was that guy's story.
And so he kind of looks at you and he just says, he's big, strong, just bully. And he kind of just turns away, very shyly, and keeps going back to cleaning up what the big guy left on his table. He kind of puts the dishes away and takes them into the back. And so Trin, the server, just looks at you and says, anything else? Is that everything? Anything else I can get for you? It's still a little bit early for dinner, but are you all good? Do you have an okay trip?
Yeah, not too bad. That big guy's a bit of an arse, though, isn't he?
Yes, he's a bit of a bully, but not too harmful. But yes, he is a bit of a bully.
Yeah, that only means they're insecure.
She just smiles and nods her head.
As Rorschach's leaning on his long spear with the tankard in his left hand, he goes, it's amazing what you can do with turnips. This ale is excellent.
As you do that, you kind of see a woman poke her head out of the back in the kitchen, and she's got an apron on. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall. Her brown hair is tied high behind her head, and you hear her singing and just kind of she seems very proud, and she kind of looks out, and you can almost see her smile as she overhears you a little bit say that the ale is good, and she at least thinks she hears you say the food is good. From what you can tell, she seems pretty proud of her cooking, whether it's just cutting cheese or whether it's actually the food. You can tell she's she's kind of task mastering everybody in the back as they're preparing for the evening's dinner.
Rorschach just gives her a nod of acknowledgement.
Awesome. All right. And you can see Delma, she's back behind the counter and just kind of cleaning things up and just it's very, very, very quiet. You don't notice a whole lot of people in town. So anything else you all do, or are you just going to kind of quietly enjoy your dinner or your snack and drinks and relax?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. So anything else anyone wants to do, or just kind of, that you expect that Port will be back in probably another hour or so as it gets closer to dinner. So you're kind of waiting for that, but let me know if there's anything else you'd like to do, or just kind of enjoy the food and relax.
I will be quietly and calmly just sitting and nibbling on cheese and bread and working down the ale slowly but surely.
Okay.
I forget how the short rests work, but would this be considered a short rest as we're relaxing?
There actually isn't a short rest in Pathfinder 2.
Right.
There's just a rest.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Aradel was just sort of slumping his chair, and he's going to find his spot now. And he's just, after the journey, just enjoying the food and the drink. And it doesn't want to move.
Gotcha.
After a few minutes, I will turn to Trixie. And first of all, I wish to commend you on your inspiring music and your additional special help during the struggle with the wolves back there. That was quite impressive. Your actions. Have you been performing in that way very long?
Oh, well, just, kind of something I've been doing since I was a little girl. Mom used to sing me rhymes as a kid, and I just never stopped.
Awesome. And as you guys do that, it's getting and you're chit chatting and enjoying the food. It's getting, the sun's starting to set a bit, and you see, a couple people start to come into the inn, and you notice one who he has a lute. He comes in, and he's you kind of look at it, and it looks pretty worse for the wear. It's missing some strings. And he kind of walks in. Obviously, everybody knows him, and they nod their head at him as the place starts to fill up a little bit. And he says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening." And you can see him kind of like loosely strumming, and his lute, and he kind of sits up close to the front of the tavern, and he tries to tune, and you can definitely tell that it's horribly out of tune. And then, kind of not waiting for anyone to say anything or do anything, he breaks into song, and he says, "'Tis his salad when 'tis raw, and his sweetmeat when 'tis dressed. Then a hoeing he may go and see, and his turnips he may hoe. A potato to dear Foy, and a leek to Taffy give. But to our friend Joe, a turnip where you live." And this is horribly off key. "No root so fit for barren Folly can be found, for the turnip will grow best when 'tis sown in porous ground. But if it be transplanted, 'twill shortly have an end. But fear not, my lads and lassies, for turnips are aplenty here, and your bellies will distend." And he kind of smiles, and he looks very, very pleased with himself as the rest of the tavern just kind of shakes their head as they're slowly starting to fill up more, and the food is starting to come a little more plentiful.
I think Trixie would give not an overly excited, but a decently, hey, good try, buddy, kind of a aggressive golf clap.
Did you say aggressive golf clap? Is that what you said? I love it.
An aggressive golf clap.
Yes. Awesome. So as the tavern starts to fill a bit more, it's more and more people come in. All the tables start to fill up, and you see Bort come in, and he kind of looks like he sits down close to the bard, if you can call him that, who's continuing to tune his instrument, and the feed mill is starting to, people are starting to bring dinner out, and you see Trin serving the guest, and Delma's tending the bar, and you even see the cook come out now and then, and you overhear her people talking to her and saying, "Amora, one more plate of turnip stew over here," and everything you hear about, it's all turnips. Turnip ale, turnip stew, anything you can think of is all. Seems like turnip is by far the food of choice here. But you see various different local farmers coming in, and you see as Bort sits down, he's kind of at the table right next to you, and he says, friends, my friends, thanks again for all you did for us. That was just amazing. And I never did get much of where you came from. I mean, obviously I appreciate what you did for us, but where do you come from? What is it? How did you learn to handle yourself so well?
Oh, if you spend enough time patching your soldiers up, you could pick up a few little tricks here and there.
I see. And the rest of you? Do you all know each other? Are you friends? Did you just become acquaintances?
No, I did not know these folk at all until booking passage with your caravan. But I have lived in Elidir all my life.
I see. The rest of you, you're not a very talkative bunch, are we?
Trixie kind of kicks back a little bit. She's like, oh, the tales I could tell you, the stories, the adventures, the epic. Oh, it'd be amazing. But these folks, I do not know them. But I was walking down the street and I saw them. I said, well, that's a rather attractive group. And I just decided to jump right in the back of that wagon because it had all the food.
Gotcha. Awesome. So as you,
head,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, my head kind of rolls to the side. So, me, long story. Let's just say I've travelled around a lot.
And as you all tell him a bit about where you're from and what you do, and Trixie, as you talk about the tales, he says, a adventure after my own heart. I told you I would regale you with tales, and so I shall. One time I was traveling through the high mountain roads in the Five Kings Mountains when our caravan, much like the caravan today, was captured by a enormous fire giant. Must have been bigger than 4 houses. It was enormous. And this fire giant, it likes dwarves. Dwarves are considered a delicacy for fire giants. And as this giant captured me and my entire party, he tied me up. He put me on a spit over this huge kettle. And he was just about to lower me in the kettle. And I said, wait, you haven't seasoned me yet. Have you heard of frost bloom? And at that, the fire giant, he looks at me and he got a very quizzical. If you can imagine this enormous fire giant, excuse me, did I say frost giant? Give me another ale. This enormous fire giant. He furrowed his brow and said, frost bloom? And I told him, yes, it's the most delicate of all spices, but it is quite spicy. It has an enormous kick. So if you would use that, it would give this such flavor. And so he did use this rare plant, this frost bloom, and put it in. And when he tasted the broth, it froze his mouth shut. And at that, I was able to escape with my entire crew during the confusion. It was unbelievable. And with that, he embellishes his arms and hands. Everything's gesticulating wildly. And as he smiles, what do you think of that?
I think it's an interesting story.
And he smiles and laughs. Yes, interesting. That's one word for it.
Where did the fire giant get the frost bloom?
Who knows where these things happen? It was around. He had a whole rack of spices and all kinds of seasonings, and he just didn't know what that one was. Isn't that fortunate for me?
That's very fortunate for you.
I agree.
Fortunate that some would think that it was a fable, a tall tale, exaggerated.
Some would, you're right, some would. But you know better.
I do know better.
And as he's talking, and you see Conral, who is the other male servant that, you've seen him and Trin talking to each other as they're serving the guests, and Finnick, who is the goblin, and you've overheard a few people say, Finnick, over here, this table needs to be cleaned. And the goblin is kind of putzing around and doing what he cleaning things and bringing out dishes. And some of the first dishes start coming out of food, and it's wild game, roasted turnips. You see again a lot more watery turnip ale is being poured, and Bort continues to tell you various tales of almost, believe it or not, increasing outlandish, but he seems to be enjoying himself. And you see one of almost what looks like a knight, but when I say a knight, I mean tattered clothes and maybe a drunken knight that's kind of leaning back in his chair, and he's kind of teetering here and there as he continues to drink too much. You see Ulf and Ulf are actually in the corner, and they seem to be gambling some kind of dice game with a farmer in the corner, and kind of slamming their hand down, as you can tell they're losing, and continuing to order more ale and drink, and everyone seems to be enjoying and having a good old time. And do you guys are you guys partaking in? Bort says, "Look, the game is great here. Roasted turnips are better than you've ever seen. Eat up, eat up."
I think Trixie would probably try to like start singing or something and
Okay.
do some barding, seeing if we can entertain, and she would kind of like maybe stand up and pull her lute out and start strumming, and she'd start singing this song about a tavern where she went and all the food was disgusting and it was a terrible tale. And yeah, at the end of it, the punchline to the song would be, it should have been chicken on the menu, but rat is what they've used. The chef says, just try it. It's tasty, you will see. And I looked at the chef and I said, I'm sorry, chef, I'm fasting. And that's all too much for me. And like kind of make it into a joke.
Awesome. And as you do that, you see Flonk kind of stumbling, trying to get up quickly and tune his lute. And he's trying to play like kind of like somebody in a jam session he's trying to follow along with you, but it's not good. But you do get the attention of some of the other folks. Well, give me a performance check, if you would. You can do it in the open in the tower.
Okie dokie. Skills, performance. Out in the open. Grab that thingy and toss it there. Oh, for the love of poo!
So, unfortunately, you play to the level of your comrades and the bard Flonk. And everyone kind of looks up, and you overhear a couple people like, "Oh my God, we have another one," and people are just kind of slowly look the other way as they're continue to eat and drink. But Bort seems like, "Hey, more the merrier. Excellent, continue."
Yeah, Rorschach winks at Trixie and says, "Keep distracting them," and moves over to the barkeep and says, "Do they have any other crops around here besides turnips?"
And she grins a little bit and says, "But turnips is what we do here. It's what we're known for. There's turnip fields aplenty. So, we've learned to make anything with turnips. I mean, where else could you get turnip ale?"
The ale's good. I'll just have some game, but I think I've got enough turnips in my ale.
All right. So as you do that, and as you're talking and everyone's eating and chit-chatting, and a little bit of poor music is being played, kind of as the meal's wrapping up, there's the servers start bringing out this porridge, and you can smell, it doesn't even have to get close to you. You can smell it's turnip porridge, of course, and it's warm. And as one of the servers is kind of coming to put down one of the desserts in front of your table, as he's coming towards your table, he bumps into a farmer sitting down with a beer, and the beer goes all over him. This huge tanker just pours all over this poor farmer as the farmer gets up and starts yelling at Kalnral. He says, "You idiot, what are you doing?" And as he does that, he starts yelling at him, and he starts throwing punches at the poor server as the server tries to protect themselves. And then you see other people as they get bumped into as this fight's breaking out. And pretty soon, the entire bar just erupts in people fighting and tables being knocked over. What do you all do as you see this everything is just erupting in fisticuffs all around you?
Give me a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
I will take up the bowl of turnip stew that I actually happily ordered and have been working on. And I will get up and just head to a wall and put my back against the wall and watch the floor show while working on my stew.
Okay.
I think as he grabs his bowl and walks over, Trixie's gonna kind of like see this start happening, and she's gonna be like, and she's gonna grab her bowl, and as he's walking past, she's gonna like jump on his back and kind of like ride him over to the wall and just like get out of the middle of all of this.
Not that big.
Yeah, but I'm tiny. Actually, you're probably about as big as I am. Okay, then she'll hop down with him and go with him.
Yeah, my back if you want.
Yeah, there we go. I'll jump on his
I'm
back.
doing the same, but I've got my mace handy, but I'm holding it not like you normally would with mace, but hand up the shaft, so I can use the actual handle bit more of the baton than anything.
Okay. And
Rorschach's gonna step out the front door and see if people were going crazy out front too.
okay. So as you're doing that, so inside the tavern, you all see Bort standing up, and like he's short, of course, he's a dwarf, right? I mean, he's standing on a table like, people, come on, really? Is this how we treat ourselves? And he's trying to calm, and then you see this chair whiz by his head as it crashes into the wall. And right after that happens, you can tell Trin is trying to get out of the way, and as she's trying to kind of make her way through the chaos, you see a mug slam into her and hit her in the side of the face, and you can see a cut kind of forming, not horrible, but a kind of cut on the side of her face as she's bleeding, and you see her kind of run out, and I would say Rorschach, you kind of see as you're stepping outside, you see Trin run past you into the stables outside of the bar.
What's the floor made of? Is it stone or wood?
It's kind of like, I don't know if you saw the image up, but it's kind of like a stone floor, kind of a pattern a little bit, but yeah, it's like a brickish stone hard floor.
Because as the barmaid gets hit, it's enough. I step forward, mace in hand, as loud as I can. I've got as loud as I can. I'll slam it down on something, and I cast my acid splash on the floor, an empty part of the floor, which will obviously, because it's fire, it will grab attention, and literally as loud as I can. So that's enough.
All right, so give me either a performance or an intimidation check, and you can just do that in the tower if you can, or yeah. All right, so I mean, you see a couple people. You see some folks starting, pause just a little bit as, some people are grabbing each other, and they kind of do they keep holding on to each other, but they kind of turn to look at you a bit. So, it seems like some people are paying a bit of attention to you, and Rorschach, as that's happening and that acid splash is hitting the ground, and you hear Aradel yell out, you see Delma kind of running out the front, and you kind of overhear her as she says, "Got to get the sheriff. And so she runs out the front door, and you see her kind of off into the darkness as she leaves the front of the building. Anyone else doing anything else? Yep.
He'll peek back in the door after you heard Ardell yell and kind of keep an eye on what's going on inside in case they need his help.
Okay.
As people look at me, the first person to catch my eye, raise my mace, point my mace at him. So, you sit down now.
And who are you doing that to? Sorry.
Whoever first catches my eye.
Okay.
The first person to look at me, the first person to make eye contact. So you sit down now.
Okay. And one, so give me either, however you want to do it, either a perception, or not a perception, sorry, either an intimidation, or I'll even give some kind of performance check.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have, in my handy dandy little things, I have intuitive cooperation, which is I'm accustomed to working with others and relying on each other to get on +2 bonus to circumstance to aid your allies. Can I like start playing like some music to kind of back up his commands he's trying to give here? Can I help the environment by doing that?
Absolutely. That sounds good.
Okay. So it's a +2 circumstance bonus.
Okay, we'll give that to Ardell's, and you're playing, since he's going for intimidation, I'm assuming you're playing some type of like, I don't know, angry, like intimidating, ominous.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
really ominous and powerful sounding, like
All right.
you know,
Klingon
kind
opera.
of. Yeah, exactly. Like you better listen to him, or shit's gonna go down.
I like it. So as you do that, and as you stand up, Ardell, and more of the folks are looking your way, and it seems like Bort is even, people are starting to take a little more, notice of him standing on the table, and things are starting to calm down a bit. And right about that time, you see, kind of coming into the front door, you see what could only be the town sheriff. Let me find an image real quick to you for you. One sec. All right, so you see Delma come back in with, like I said, what can only be the town sheriff. I love his badge. I just noticed that. That looks like a turnip. I love it.
That's so cute.
I didn't even notice that before. That's great. So he comes in, and people are starting to, they're finally starting to get calmer, and the sheriff comes in and he says, "Come on, people." And he looks over, the last few people that are actually still throwing fists. And Sans Primo, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. But as he comes in and he kind of pulls the few offending farmers to apart, and he kind of pulls them over into a corner, and you can kind of hear him that, "Hey, folks, come on, I don't have to come in here every time there's somebody gets upset and somebody fights. This is getting old, and everyone needs to just calm down." And he kind of looks around at everyone. Well, it looks like, thankfully, no one used any real weapons here. And he kind of looks over at all of you. No one here used any true weapons to hurt anyone, right? And he kind of looks over at you four.
No, they decided to listen. I wouldn't use this. This was just more intimidation. It got the point across.
Gotcha. All right.
Trixie just changes her tune into something a little bit more slow and relaxing.
Excellent.
Ardell puts his mace away. So. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm Ardell. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Thank you, Ardell. Did you help to keep things calm around here? It looks like you may have a bit of a presence.
I acted rather than thinking. I don't know. I just felt I had to do something.
Okay. Okay. And then the rest of you, did you help to keep things calm?
I'll speak up, and I'm going to say to him, I have to say, in my past, I've been around more than one or two tavern brawls, and it seemed as if this one got started for an awfully minor offense. Are there underlying things going on to increase the tension level in the folk here?
He kind of smirks a bit and he says, absolutely, the ale. And he says, what I mean by that is don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the ale, but people tend to drink a little bit too much. Not a whole lot to do in the town. So people tend to get a little out of hand, but other than that, no, there's, it's a quiet, nice town. Just folks that get a little bit excitable at times. All right. So anyone else have anything to add? It looks like at least no one was hurt too terribly bad. So, everyone come on, clean up, get back to dinner. It looks like dessert was just being served. So get back to dinner, everyone. Not as much to see here.
I use prestidigitation to clean a few people up and patch anyone up if needed.
Awesome. Excellent.
So
there are a few people that were bruised.
If it's only turnips here, I mean, literally it's just turnips? Like, that's all you do?
Well, mostly turnips. It's not all turnips. I mean, we do have some meat. We do have some things, but, turnips is our staple here. That's for sure.
Oh, no wonder you lot are grumpy.
Do you export them?
Well, we try, but you might imagine there's not a great market for turnips, but it sustains us here, and that's enough.
Have you ever thought about growing something else?
The soil just is, it's great for turnips, but honestly, we haven't found too much else that grows extremely well. So turnips is still best for us.
Well, my advice: get some sheep.
I see where you're going there.
Fertilize the ground rather well. Then
yes.
Next season you can put anything you want in that ground.
I will take it into consideration, but I'm only the town sheriff. But thank you. I'll take it into consideration.
Understood.
So as he kind of goes back over into a corner and kind of sits down, and as everyone's kind of cleaning up and going back to their food, and you see Trin and actually, hold on one second. Actually, you still see Conral is still there as he's placing the rest of the desserts, and Bort comes back over to you. Everyone okay here? Everyone all right? I worked up an appetite there trying to calm this group down. I think it's time for a little dessert. And he looks at the bowl in front of him. He says, "Oh, turnip porridge, my favorite." And you see this huge bowl sitting in front of him as he starts to kind of dig into to his porridge, and says, "Where were we? Was I regaling you of tales? I have another one. Are you all interested in hearing it?"
I kind of just look at the others without saying anything.
And he says, I'll take that as a yes. And he starts digging in, and he says, "One day while I was crossing the lake in Carthen, my boat was set upon by a mighty storm, and the ship capsized." And he kind of keeps chewing, bites in between. "As the sea took me, the merchant grabbed hold. Excuse me. And as he's telling this story, he's choking. He can't. You can tell that he he can't breathe. He's trying. He's trying to get a word out.
Instincts kick in. I try and help him. So I pat him on the back. I obviously assess. Try and find out why he's choking, and try and relieve him.
Give me a medicine check. All right. You can't tell. I mean, doesn't look like he's choking on anything as he continues to kind of like, you can see him scratching at his throat. But it doesn't look like he's choking on anything that you can tell. And as you're looking at him and trying to figure out what's going on, anyone else want to do anything real quick?
Just
Whack him on the back.
Just a real quick slide again. Arundel, are you, DM, are you trained? Do you have, you're untrained in medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, no, are you
supposed to be trained?
I don't think, I mean, I looked at his skills before. So. You have 4 skills you're trained in: diplomacy, lore, perception, and religion. So I didn't see that you were trained in medicine, but it's interesting. I mean, and we can always look at that.
Basically.
Okay. And look, we can change that. And we could, if that's something that you should be trained in, I can give it to you now and we can recreate it later. Being trained in it, actually, that's interesting. It automatically updated that. That was cool. So all you can tell is that, I mean, you're very certain that he's not there's nothing blocking his airway. There's nothing. So are you just trying to figure out what's happening to him? Or are you trying, tell me what you're trying to do.
What any medic would do is assess and try and treat if we can. Okay.
So you do that and you're trying everything you can, but literally as you're doing everything that you can think of in your training, but you see his eyes just glaze over, his mouth open, and he is obviously dead. His windpipe, as you kind of look at him, seems like it was swollen completely shut. And he is just, you can tell he's gone. He's long gone.
I will immediately grab his bowl of porridge and, using my amazing sense of smell, sniff it very carefully to see if I detect anything other than turnip in there.
So as you're doing that, people are starting to crowd around, and everyone has been coming over to see what in the world is going on with him. Do me a favor and roll a, do you have anything, would it be other than perception that you can think of? But you can certainly, if you have something to roll to try to see if you can smell other than perception, but otherwise I would say, give me a perception check in the tower.
Yeah, it would either be perception or a medicine recall knowledge, but either one is.
I'm fine with either one.
It's immaterial.
Yeah, I'd go with either one. Okay. And the tavern, as you're doing that, has gone completely silent as everyone kind of looks at each other, and you're starting to see people certainly look at their food as well. So you can't, I mean, you're trying but the turnip smell is just very strong. So you really don't notice anything else in terms of the smell other than the porridge and the turnip itself.
I would still suggest nobody else touch this bowl.
What would anyone else have been doing? Did you all had porridge in front of you as well? Would you all have been eating the porridge as well as Bort while he's telling his story?
And I was still working on my stew.
Nice, I like it.
Rorschach was fed up with the turnip, so he stuck with the game.
Trixie was kind of like, she's kind of weirded out by this whole weird turnip thing, and she was contemplating the alternate title she could give the sheriff other than sheriff, and so far she's come up with the top tuber.
Nice. All right. So is that let's see, is that everyone? So Aradel, would you have, did you say you weren't eating the porridge either?
No, I was eating some sort of meat dish.
Okay. So as you guys are looking at him, you see the sheriff kind of come over, and he looks a little bit in shock, like, and he's kind of stumbling, like Bort's he's dead, and he looks over, and he asks one of the servers, bring me a tablecloth, and you see Colnrall, he goes into the back, grabs a clean tablecloth, and Rolth, the sheriff, kind of puts it over Bort. Says, we have to have a little respect. What happened? And first he kind of looks at all of you. You all were right there with you. You all flunk, and anyone, what happened to him? Did you see? Did he choke on something?
He was choking, but not on something. For some reason, his body had a reaction. What I don't know. But I checked, and his throat had been swollen shut.
Did others? And he's kind of looking around. Anyone else eat the porridge? And you see a lot of the rest of the crowd and the farmers kind of almost, look down at their porridge, and their eyes get wide, but and a lot of them nod their head, but no one else seems affected. And the sheriff, he kind of looks at all of you so okay, this table, all of you, come out with me, and all of you in the caravan, come out with me in the stables, and I got to question you to find out what happened. Something must have happened here. So he kind of asks all of you to join him out, just outside the tavern, into the stables, and says, please come with me. We need to find out what happened here.
I hang back a little bit, let everyone else get out, and I scan literally everything.
Okay.
And I'm gone. As if to help the sheriff a little bit, if I can get any information I can.
Okay.
Well, I'll also be looking around. I'll comply and walk out, but as I go, I'm looking at everybody else that's moving along,
Okay.
to see if there's anybody that looks a little hesitant or a little jumpy.
Okay. The only thing you really noticed is you can see that as you all are starting to head out, Delma is closing up the kitchen, and you can see her talking to her staff, like, everyone just go home. This is horrible. And so she's definitely like, time for everyone to leave now. And so they're slowly starting to close down the kitchen, and as Rolth, as you all are heading out, Rolth looks at all of you and says, look, one by one. So as you guys are heading outside, he goes, I need to talk to each of you. And he looks at you first, Rorschach, and he says, you come over here. And he kind of pulls you a little bit away from the rest of the party and says, tell me what happened. What do you know? You weren't right at the table, but you were there, right? Or were you at the table? Were you out front? I'm confused. What happened? What do you know?
So, strangely, the whole bar exploded with fighting. That was point number one. Point number two, Bort said that was his favorite meal, so I don't think he has allergies to turnip porridge, but he may have. It seems like an allergic reaction to me, and if it is the porridge that caused this problem. But other than that, that's about all I can deduce.
Did you know Bort well? Were you close with him?
We were mere acquaintances. We were traveling with his caravan, but I drank ale with him. But he told lofty stories, but nothing too personal. So I don't know him well.
And I'm going to talk to the rest of your friends, but any of your friends that just between you and I are suspicious? Just
No,
between
they've
you and I.
defended my, yeah, they've defended my back, so I have complete trust in them that they wouldn't do something nefarious like this.
Hmm. Well, I'll talk to them as well, and I don't know who else in the caravan. Not everyone was there. Most were actually not there, so they shouldn't have done it. And I saw Ulf and Ulf, but I could tell that they were three sheets to the wind. They had been drinking and gambling. I can't imagine it was those two hooligans. But okay. Anything else you'd like to add to your statement before I grab your friends?
Yeah, you may want to check the kitchen to see if somehow something got put in the porridge. Check with that the lady who cooks. But other than that, I'll be here if you need me.
Good idea. Good idea. Thank you very, very much. And he kind of brings you back over to the others, and he says, you, Bard. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but can you please come over here? I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Trixie. Oh, hi. Yeah, sure. Trixie. Does this happen often? Because this is, it's kind of weird here that there's a weird thing about turnips, but do bar fights happen often and do people die here a lot?
Bar fights all the time. Those are not uncommon. As I said, this town is, there's not a whole lot of action. So on occasion, people do drink too much, and I'm called here more than I'd like to admit to stop a fight. But no, in any type of death, injury, no. Usually people, it's only fists. It's maybe throwing a chair or two and getting a little out of control, and nothing like this. So how do you know Bort? How long have you known him? And
Oh, I've known him for exactly 3 days, 6 hours, and 87 minutes.
well, that's pretty specific.
She's like, I just know 3 days. I just made the rest of that up.
Okay. And did you see anything? Did you notice anything? Anyone be acting strangely? Did you have any reason to not like Bort?
Well, no, he gave us a ride here. He was nice. He was gonna pay for our turnips.
And did you notice anything? What was happening when he died? What were you all doing?
I was, watching people set up their chairs from the bar fight that just ended, and then food was getting passed out, and the guy choked on something. I don't know.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's all I have. Thanks.
Okay. And he slowly brings you back over, and he looks at you, Jorast, and he says, "You, could you come over and talk to me for a minute, please?"
Certainly.
Says, what about you? Your friends don't seem to have seen much, but what's your story? How did you know Bort? How long have you known him? And did you see anything strange?
I certainly did not. I've only known the man since I booked passage with his caravan to travel from city to city. He certainly seems like the type that makes himself well known along his trade routes. So I'm assuming he's known in this town.
And anything else you noticed? Did you spot anything? You seem an observant type. Did you notice anything before this happened?
No, I did not. We were listening to him weave some tall tales, and as I'm sure my companions have told you, he suddenly his throat closed up and he choked. I tried to detect to see if there was anything obviously wrong with his porridge, but I either I could detect, well, I could detect nothing. So either it was if there is anything tainting it, it's subtle.
Why would you suspect his porridge? What made you think that? Why were you even wondering about his porridge?
simply because it was the last thing he put in his mouth before his throat closed up.
And it's-
I've had experience with in the long past. I used to be a bounty hunter in the city, and I've seen more than my share of murder attempts that did not go well.
And you can see as you're explaining to him why you would have thought that, his face kind of flushes and almost, a look of embarrassment crosses over him, like, why didn't he think of that? And he just says, oh, of course, yes, that makes complete sense. Well, thank you. I appreciate your thoughts and stand by. I'm gonna ask for your last party member here. Where is he? And he looks for you, Aradel. Are you outside now? Have you kind of looked around inside, and have you come out with the rest of the group?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was basically the last one out.
Yep, that's what I thought. So he asks you, he says, you, sir, can you please come over here and let us talk for a moment?
He gives a sharp nod, sir, and marches over, very straight back.
He says, well, I've talked to all your friends. What do you know about Bort? And, did you have any ill feelings for the man?
None at all, sir. Seemed a good guy, so quite the opposite. He's willing to pay for our stay here. I liked him. Report, no ill feelings at all. I can't see any reason why someone would have any ill feelings towards him.
And he kind of nods his head. What about seeing anything unusual that you saw just before his death?
Apart from the bar fight, which, well, I know what you said about that. Nothing really. He tried to tell us another one of his tall tales. Couldn't get his words out. His throat closed up. And here we are.
That definitely sounds like Bort. He loved his tall tales, and he almost kind of wipes away a tear as he's thinking back to some of the stories that Bort used to tell. Okay, anything more to add?
I'd like to help out if I can. Maybe some of my training can, I don't know, lend a new eye.
Let me give that some thought. I appreciate it. And he goes, let's go back.
Where to find me.
Yep. And he kind of walks you back over to the group, and he looks at everyone, and it's kind of the four of you and, a few other members of the caravan are kind of all around. And he looks at everyone and he says, well, it's obviously not clear who did this, but it is clear to me, at least, that something happened here, and it sure looks like it was murder. And we're going to have to wait until the circuit judge comes back into town. And that, unfortunately, Lord Mubbage Cranberry, he isn't due back in town for at least another month. So you all, everyone here, needs to stay here until then. We need to find out what happened, and no one is to leave town until that happens. Till Lord Cranberry is back. And with that, that's a great time to end the first session of Fall of Plaguestone.
I think as we're going out, you guys kind of like, as the camera's panning back, you just hear Trixie going, so do they only eat pie?
Nice. Well, thanks, everybody. That was a good first session. That was fun.
Yes, so we are in vegetable hell. Fruit and
Yes.
vegetable hell.
Turnips.
Okay.
I
Yep.
don't know, I
Turnips and cranberries. You got it.
Time to go hunting.
Exactly.
It sounds
I
like a good-
actually enjoy turnips as long as they're cooked really well. But
I'm a rat folk. Rat folk will eat turnips, no problem.
oh yeah,
Sweet.
you'll go to town on them.
So you guys will be
Yeah,
just fine for a month subsisting on turnips. You're good.
Yeah.
I might be asking to see if there's any roast grubs around or anything like that to go with them, but
Oh, there you go. Rock grubs. I like it. Awesome.
Great. Well, that was fun, Gideon. Thank you very much, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. That was fun.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Have a good rest of your weekend. And yeah,
Yes.
Now, are we on 2-week schedule, right? Or one?
well,
or-
we're trying. We try to do every week, but honestly, it feels like, one of us, whether it's me or one of the players, sometimes we might miss a week. So I would say right now, if everybody's good, we'll plan on next Saturday. And if it doesn't work, we can certainly move it. But in general, I think we
I
plan
can
on.
actually not do next Saturday since
Okay.
we're actually talking about this. I forgot to tell you I have company coming into town,
No
and
problem.
yeah, so I won't be available next Saturday. Sorry, guys.
No problem at all. Do you want to? Do we all just want to say for now? We'll do 2 weeks from now.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep,
makes sense.
That
sounds
works.
good. I'll throw it
Awesome.
on my calendar. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna close it
Cheers.
out with the stream. Well, thanks everybody. I
See you later.
appreciate you.
And DM, you
Yeah.
and Gwydion should probably get together and just go over your character sheet and make sure everything is up and clean. Because
Yeah, I'll take a look. I think
little holes in it.
yeah, we'll take a look at it. And as a reminder, I will update probably sometime this weekend. I'll update Legend Keeper and let you guys know in Discord when I have it open or updated, so you can kind of take a peek at it whenever you want.
Can you put that link in the Discord, Gwydion, please?
I will. Yep, I'll do it after I close out the stream. No problem.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, guys.
And thank you to everybody that put up with us in the chat. Come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. See you later.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It was fun. I don't know if you guys were all here for the Bard song from Flonk. That was made up. I just found something close on the internet that I thought would be turnip related and would be I don't know, would kind of be a nice little comic interlude. So appreciate you guys joining, and I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something a little bit. Thanks for the cherry rush. I appreciate that. And hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I'm going to throw this up on YouTube, and I hope to see you all in a couple of weeks. Thanks again. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Take care.